Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Fly Television. I'm your host, Dennis Gleason, and welcome to the show. What is On the Fly Television? Ad hoc television production. I talk about whatever I'd like to talk about for whatever length I'd like to talk about, as long as it's done in about 9.5 minutes. Today I have a very special guest with me. I have the gentleman I work with all the time on a different show, Dr. Don. Dr. Don, thank you very much for joining me today. Appreciate you coming on board.
My pleasure, Dennis. Anytime I can do anything with you, it's always a pleasure. There's only one problem, though.
What's that?
Your mind goes so blasted fast, it's hard to keep up with you.
You want me to slow down? Is
No,
that
don't slow
okay.
down. I enjoy your directing and what you do with our shows. It's been terrific. It really has.
Great.
And you know, I'm very honest.
Okay, yeah, and that's definitely true. Anyone that knows Dr. Don knows that if he's telling a lie, he probably doesn't know about it. So to explain what he was talking about, as some of you that have watched previous episodes of On the Fly Television, I direct several different shows, and one of the shows that I direct is Conversations with Dr. Don, which, of course, Dr. Don is on, and he is the host, the owner, the guru. He is everything for the show. It gets rebroadcast, I think, to Washington, D.C. Is it still being rebroadcast there?
No, New Hampshire and Seattle and Salem and Clark County across the river.
But all over the place. So
all
obviously New
over the
Hampshire being on the
place,
East
yeah.
Coast, so are pretty close to it for those people.
And when we're
who-
video streaming, we're in the process of doing more of the shows, and they'll be all over the world
Sure.
for that matter, you know.
And right now I do have, I think tonight's episode, we just got done taping a few minutes ago with future Senator. Can we say future Senate? No.
Steve Novick.
Steve
a
Novick.
candidate- a candidate
We can
for
say
US
it may not
Senate,
happen.
Yeah, he's a neat guy.
Steve Novick, he's running for U.S. Senate. He was the guest on Dr. Don's show a few minutes before this taping. Again, this won't be broadcast till probably in the middle, sometime in December. But we do put the Dr. Don and the show on video.google.com, so you should be able to see all the shows there. So the reason I asked you on here is because I want to make sure I take a little bit of time to say thank you publicly for all the opportunities you've given me. Being a director or any job really, and having the opportunity to learn, grow, and be part of something really great is appreciated. And you actually one of my mentors. I saw your name up on the Producer of the Year list, and I said, you know what? I don't care who this guy is. I just know he must be great. And then I got to know you, and yes, I was right. You are great. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
So,
wow, man, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that's exactly why I did it.
And this may be a mutual admiration society, so to speak, but I think Dennis and I, in our own way, like to be honest. You know, I like to flatter a little bit, but it's important to be sure that I'm not going overboard, because
Sure.
sometime in the future you'll discover that I was BSing you, and then
Yeah.
you'll say, I don't like that guy anymore. You know, like that.
I don't think that's possible, because I've enjoyed your company. I've enjoyed working with you, and I know that for both this show I'm doing now and Conversations with Dr. Don and all the other things that hopefully I'll con you into helping me with later on will
You
pan
got
out
it.
to be really well, because I want to get you on a couple of new shows I'm doing that center around directors and producers, and obviously being a producer would be one of my victims for me. So what we talk about is any subject we'd like to. Today is being September, October, November. What the month is it? This is November 29th. See, I knew the date. I said it twice. It's on the screen. I still didn't get it. 2007. So coming up is the holidays. We talked about in last night's show about Black Friday. I don't want to talk about that anymore because, well, I talked about it once. But what I would like to talk about is any subject that anyone else in the studio audience would like to talk about. In this case, my director or my camera person. Anyone have a subject you would like to talk about? Football. Want to talk about football? I'm wearing a Raiders shirt. Those people that have watched previous games have seen that I wear Raiders all the time. I don't watch as many games as I'd like to. I noted before, though.
Let me interrupt for a moment.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned football. I want you to know I'm here tonight, and I'm really upset because the Packers and the Cowboys are playing tonight, and I'm recording at home. And it was pretty important to come here and do the show with you and miss that game, because I like pro football, and man.
But you can always watch it again.
Well,
This was the live for today for you. This is a live show, or the show you just got done doing.
Mm-hmm.
So live shows can't be redone, whereas you can tape something on TiVo and you can.
well,
go
let me
back
say
to it.
something else about you.
Okay, go ahead, take the time. I'll just go ahead and relax. We have about 4 minutes left.
No, if you ever get a chance to work with Dennis or be with him anytime there's some thinking involved, he says he can multitask. I've never seen anybody who can multitask. I mean, you know, and do it. It's really fascinating. Because that's when I think I've got him figured as to how much he can do at one time, or how many things he can do at one time. There's something else he's done. And I know I'm getting old, but there's something wrong with this guy, you know.
You're not getting old. You're getting
I
seasoned.
am old.
Okay. No, you're not getting old. No. What it just comes down to is that my job, my job is to work on numerous things at one time, and by necessity, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, I can get like 10 things done in a single day, whereas most people would maybe set aside the entire day to do one task at a time. And I've just gotten, by practice, I mean, it's nothing I was really taught much, or I just came up on my own. I had mentors that helped me, understand it. And so I came up with the idea that, well, if I try to get things done in a pattern, you think, distance between point A and point B is direct line. Well, some people don't realize that, well, maybe C, D, E, and F may not be as important as A and B, but they might be in line with them. And so what I try to do is I say, okay, well, you know what? I can still get all these done, and I can get that done at the same time. Let's do it.
You see what I mean? That's reality. Let me see something. Let me look. You are.
I have two of me, actually. There's another person.
You are wired weird is what's happening. You're almost.
I don't think anyone that's watched the show or anyone that knows me would disagree with that comment. See, that's the disturbing part of it.
You're almost as weird as those two guys in the control room, that's Shaun and Ellery.
No, first of all, I don't think that's possible. They're in a much higher class than me. I'm still in the bottom feeder learning stages.
The point I'm making is that whatever else we do here, we enjoy each other,
sure,
and we have a lot of fun. And we're all volunteers here. Nobody gets paid. And I look forward to it all the time.
Yep.
Especially the characters I get to work with. Since we're all volunteers,
characters.
There's got to be something special about us to want to hang out with each other and aggravate each other.
Yeah, and so in case you guys are wondering what that means, cable access is where we're taping this, and if you're interested in getting on television, getting some kind of experience, think about cable access as your first step. If you want to be an actor or a model or whatever you want to do, but going into an agency and spending a lot of money or auditioning 1,000 times for something but have a resume that says, I want to do this, go to cable access stations in your county, look it up online, wherever you might be watching this. If it's on Google, you could be in anywhere in the country. Find out what cable access options are available to you, and you might be able to get on television, get some credits, practice like I am. This is part of the reason I'm here, is to practice being on television, so you too can get on television, get experience. Maybe you find out that you don't want to be on television. So we have about a minute left, which means that we don't have much time left. But is there anything else you'd like to close with really briefly?
There's another thing that's an advantage if you get to go to cable access and get on television to be a producer or a host or whatever. You get a chance to grind your own personal axe.
Yeah.
And my
we know you do that too.
Is a leftist, progressive, American patriotic.
I won't even try to say that.
What's your axe, sir?
I don't have one, actually. I'm in
you got that cross around your neck.
I have one because I have to constantly remind myself, to behave.
Yes.
I'm learning to be a devoted Christian. I won't probably be there for some time. If you're really honest, you find yourself never be able to do that. So we're about done. We got to wrap up. So any last words? 2 seconds? That was 2 seconds. Sorry, time's up. Thank you very much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dennis.
Again, if you want to get involved with cable access, please do so at your earliest convenience by going online, checking out cable access stations in your area. Thank you very much for watching. Yes, you will, definitely.
If I could change the world, I would undoubtedly. Instead of getting caught up in what others do, I think I'll start with me. I think I'll start with